Well, hello, my darlings. It is time for a new tutorial. Happy July, happy Christmas in July. It is that time of year again, and we are going to make this super cute flip open type of embellishment suitcase. And you have 3 sections in the middle where you can go ahead and put all your embellishments in. So in today's video, we will be making this one that says joy, peace, love, and it's so stinking cute. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this, and make sure you have hit that subscribe button so you do not miss out on my future tutorials or any other of my videos, and get all of your craft supplies. Make sure you check the description box for all of the measurements, and let's go. All right, so let's kick things off. We have 2 bases. We have base B and we also have a base A, but we're going to start with B today because that's just what I had in my hand. And we are going to go ahead and fold on our score lines, and we're going to do that all the way around. Now you see we're going to take the smaller 1-inch side, and these smaller little rectangular tabs, we are going to release those and we are going to cut it completely off. Now you see I'm doing it as an angle because we'll be attaching this to our base A. And then on the other side with those larger squares over there, we're just going to release the tabs to create flaps because we are going to eventually fold those over. Now it's time to play with base A, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go ahead and fold up on our score lines, and we're going to be doing some cutting. Now you see these long rectangular pieces here on the corners. We are going to completely remove those, but I'm going straight on the score line. I'm not cutting any little notches off of it. I'm just going straight on the score lines. And then on the other side with those smaller squared rectangles, we're going to do the same thing on the other one, and we're just going to release those to create our little tabs. Now let's grab our 2 pieces. Now you see that smaller 1-inch, that's going to go underneath our bigger flap. The bigger flap is 3 inches, and then this one here is just 1 inch. So I'm going to apply my wet glue onto that, and then I'm going to lay it down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I raise it up so I'm not going over my score line, and then I'm going to adhere it down. Now that we have that portion completed, our little tabs that we have hanging over here, we're going to go ahead and adhere those down to our longer flap. Now you guys know that I fancy putting my flaps on the outside. It always depends on what I'm creating, but I like to go for a nice, clean, cohesive look. So I'm going to do it on the outside, but you know what? To each his own. Do what you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do this on both sides, and when I complete that, I'm going to eventually go ahead and add my next matting piece on top of those. Now we're going to work on the boxes that go on the inside. We need 2 of box A and then just 1 of box B. Your box B is going to be your taller one, and then box A, they're going to be the same height here. So you see, we are going to start off with a folding on our score lines as per usual. Then you see these tiny little squares here? Yep, those right there. We're going to go ahead and release the flap on both ends, just cutting up on the score line. And you do not have to cut the notches, but I just like doing so. And then once we have that completed, I'm going to fold up those little tiny tabs. I'm going to add my hot glue, and I'm going to fold over one flap and then fold over the other flap on top of it. Now, once that is completed, you're going to repeat the exact same steps on your other two boxes. Now you should have something that looks a little something similar to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our shorter ones and we're going to put one on either side of the taller one. And so I'm going to take my wet glue to do this. I'm going to add it, of course, on the side that is not matted and attach it to my taller piece and then repeat it on the other side. Now we're going to bring back our suitcase here and we're going to lay it flat, and then we're going to add our wet glue on to the bottom of our boxes, so then that way we can adhere it to the middle. You will see me add it in little cracks here of my boxes just to give it some extra stability. And then also when I place this down, I'm going to lift up the side of my suitcase to make sure I am not going over my score line to disrupt it in any kind of way. So I'm going to quickly place it, lift up my suitcase and make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. And then take my bone folder and make sure everything's adhered down. Now onto the handles, I have two pieces that are 1 by 7.5, and I do have it scored at 1/2 inch on both ends. And I'm going to go ahead and fold it up. And well, I have double-sided paper, so it kind of depends on however you want to do it. I'm also going to take my bone folder and I'm going to curl my paper just so I already have that nice curl to begin with when I go ahead and adhere it down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hot glue and I'm put it on the 1/2 inch portion of my handle, and I'm going to line it up with my matting piece, not the edge of the box itself, but the edge of my mat. And I'm going to repeat that to the other side. Now we're going to have our little latch pieces. This is what's going to keep everything together. These are 1 by 3.5, and I already have it scored at 1/2 inch on the long side. And as you have noticed, I am using my little corner tool to round up my little latch pieces. You don't have to, but it tickles my fancy, so that's what I'm going to do. And of course, you see that I did not mat the outside of my boxes yet. That's because I wanted to make sure that my little closure pieces are underneath my matting piece. So go ahead and apply that with your 1/2 inch on the back portion. And then I'm also going to take some Velcro dots, and that's going to be applied for my closure. Now, if you have like the cool little metal mechanisms, like do that too. I was actually going to do that, but then it's like not everybody has that. So I wanted to show you guys what you can do or whatever works for you. But whatever you have in your craft stash, do you have fun? Now I'm going to make shakers for my outside pieces, and I thought it would be fun if I showed you really quick how you can do it with tulle without using your sewing machine. I'm pretty sure I probably did this already before once upon a time in a video, maybe not too long ago, but I figure I'd show you again. You are just going to cut your tulle to be bigger than your piece here. My matting piece is always 1/8 of an inch smaller than my base, which my base is 5 by 5, and I have my little finger protector, and I'm applying hot glue onto the edge, so make sure you're careful. And I'm just going to press that down, and then I'm going to do that on 3 sides, and then once I complete those 3 sides, then I'll go ahead and add my shaker mix. Now I am going to use my mix-ups from Buttons Galore and More, and this one is called Happy Christmas. These are new in their store, and I'm going to add this inside for my shaker. So I have my 3 sides already sealed with hot glue, but I left my one side open so that I can easily pour it in. I'm not going to do a lot because I want to make sure that I have room for decorating. And then once I have that put in, I shake it around to see if I have enough that I want, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply the hot glue on the back and close it up. So after I finish this, I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other one. Now, to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere, just adding glue by itself is not going to be very beneficial. So you want to make sure you're using double-sided tape. I strongly suggest using red line tape. The only red line tape I have left is 1/8 of an inch, and I wanted it to be wider than that. So I'm just using my regular double-sided tape, which is at 1/2 inch. And I'm adding this to all 4 sides. I'm going to add a piece in the center as well. I'm going to do that on both ends, or on both pieces. So once I remove the tape, I'm also applying my Barely Arts glue on there because I want the tape to quickly have it matted down, but of course I want to make sure that everything dries because remember, glue dries, tape doesn't. So I'm going to apply that all over my back and then apply it to my suitcase. So now that we have that all put together, we're going to make it look all nice, pretty, and fancy. And ooh, fancy she is. Oh, it's so cute and adorable. I truly hope that you guys liked this tutorial. If you did, make sure you give your girl a big thumbs up. It does help with the whole analytics and everything. So just in case you didn't know, that's what it does. But you have your 3 little sections here in the middle. So you can add your embellishment. You can add embellishment boxes. And I just think it's so super cool. So I hope you guys do too. Happy July, friends. Bye.